Well, look, the politics did shift on him, and he recognizes going into a fall campaign that this would become the issue across the country. And I think what he concluded was if he wants this to work, if he wants this to be sustainable, to use his word, he can't do it in the context of a very heated, polarized election season in which $1 billion worth of TV ads would all focus on this and force candidates and lawmakers to take even more extreme positions than they might have otherwise. So it's a calmer atmosphere is what he's looking for after the election. Of course, it looks cynical, right? I'm not going to do this while the American people might be casting their judgment. He's disappointed his supporters on the left who wanted him to act more decisively sooner. But aides of the president are saying that he is going to do it. It's just a matter of timing. And in the end, timing may or may not change the ultimate outcome.
It may or may not do it, may not change the ultimate, but they had to know. I'm sorry, you had to know in June the dozen most important Democratic incumbents are vulnerable. Most of them live in states, Mark Udall was the only one screaming and complaining yesterday, most of them live in states where you don't have a big Latino population. You don't even have a big liberal population in many of these states. So what changed?
Well, you know,
they just started thinking more about it. I don't get the what. You can have the same calculation months ago when he promised he would act.
Well, the politics, as the president said and as Peter said, did become more heated given the border situation. But Democrats also saw some very scary polling out of some of these red states, particularly among independent voters, where the idea of executive action in particular was not looking good for some of these Democrats who are, you know, hanging on for dear life as it is. But, you know, I think the activist community, the immigration activist community, feels more than just disappointed. They feel betrayed. And I asked a top immigration activist, why does it matter? Why do you care if it happens now or in 2 months after you've waited so long and it would be the same thing? And he said, you don't understand. We have been strung along and jerked around for so long, and every single time we are the ones who have to wait because something else is more important. So I think there's some major disappointment, and there is a fear that in a few states like Colorado and a few House races where there are Hispanic populations, there could be some disappointed Democrats who stay home.
And so now that we know he won't act, the question is what political impact will that be? Will it make things better for the Democrats? And to Molly's point, we had just this past week polls in 2 of these hotly contested Senate races. We look at Kentucky, where you have a Republican incumbent, but the Democrat is within reach, Allison Lundgren Grimes. Her calculation was, don't do this, Mr. President, because I don't have a big Latino population in Kentucky. I don't have a big liberal population in Kentucky. I need to win moderate and conservative Democrats and independents. So you see that one. In Arkansas, another one like this, where the last thing Mark Pryor wanted was for the president to do this executive action, because, look, Mark Pryor a little bit behind his Republican opponent. So does this make it better, Robert, that he's not going to do this, or does it just not make it worse?
I think it makes it better. I've spoken with about a dozen Democratic Senate campaigns, and they're very pleased about the president's decision. And places like West Virginia, where Democrats really had a tough shot, they now feel like at least they have a chance of winning the election. And in Arkansas with Mark Pryor, Mary Landrieu in Louisiana, Allison Lundgren Grimes in Kentucky, you have Democrats now who know they always had an outside shot, but the president's not putting them on under the gun and putting them on the spot. They think they can go to some other issues and have some strengths.